Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, it's been 1 year since I got the Sapphire Preferred, so it's time to make that decision. Do you keep it? Do you get rid of it? Or do you product change it? Spoiler, you probably already know what I did. But we'll talk about my thoughts on it, my strategy, things you should know, what you should do, and the Chase catalog as a whole, because I do think it is an interesting topic. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, I don't do as many keep or cancel videos as I used to because for the most part, these things are pretty obvious and, you guys kind of know how I'm going to land because I'm an intro offer hunter. But with this one, it did give me pause to kind of think about it if I wanted to keep it or not. So I do think it's worth a topic. It also doesn't hurt that right now, if you're watching this in the spring when this is going live, Chase is running the elevated offers again on this Sapphire Preferred and the Reserve. So we'll have links over at profitablecontent.com, but check with your local branch because the Sapphire Preferred generally gets the better offer. I will put them down below for you so you have them that way in case they change over time. We can just update it there versus me having said it here, but it does make this a topical video. So anyhow, last year, the Sapphire Preferred, I went into branch. It was a $900 offer, 90,000 points, depending on how you look at it. And so that's what I did. Kept it for a year. It's my second Sapphire card. And, the rules are like every 4 years you can get one and you can't currently hold the card. So got a second one. Great. Really high offer. No complaints there. A year came up and just a reminder, they won't tell you your annual fee is posting. It just shows up and you have 30 days to make your decision. You can cancel the card. You can choose to keep it or in Chase's lane, you can product change it. And that's what I opted to do. Now we have a bunch of different videos on product changing Chase cards in their Chase playlist on the main channel page if you're interested. But you phone in and you say, hey, look, I want to product change my Sapphire Preferred to a Freedom Flex. I have now 5 Freedom cards, 3 Freedom Flexes, 2 OG Freedoms. It's probably too much, but there's no reason to get rid of it. You can never have too many 5X cards. So that's what I ended up doing. But why? So I did think about keeping it because while I don't love annual fee cards, I don't think this is a bad card. And I do think there's an argument to be made for an adult person, I think I'm supposed to be an adult, to have a card that provides some level of travel insurances and a way to get an alternative way to move out some of your Chase points if you want. So I did think about it for a while, but I ended up getting rid of it because one, I thought I didn't really need another Freedom card, but it never hurts. But the main reasons were the card itself, where it sits in Chase's catalog, other cards I think you could do better. Do I really need this? And of course, my mission is to take money from banks, not give money to banks. And so we'll look at all of these. And of course, we'll cover what I think you should do with the elevated offers back at the end. So when you take a look at it, let's start with the card itself. So Sapphire Preferred on screen, as we said, $95. It is a good looking card. Multipliers here, again, you get the 5X back to the travel portal, 2 back on regular travel, 3 on dining, streaming, and online groceries, 1 back on everything else. No foreign transaction fees, 10% anniversary points, which I kind of forgot about that. I probably should have waited to see if that posted, but the only points I actually earned were the intro offer, so I don't think I would have gotten anything for that. $50 hotel credit. We do have a full video on me redeeming that. I was able to get face value for it, so you could definitely make the argument, $45 effective annual fee. I think that is more than fair. And of course, as you know, you can take Ultimate Reward points from your 5 Freedom cards and put them on here and then ship them out to transfer partners or get an extra points boost through the travel portal. And that right there, I don't really think, I'll leave it on screen for a minute, but I don't really think that's a terrible card. It's fine for someone who's like, hey, I want a few cards. I like Chase. Maybe I built out my trifecta of the Freedom Flex and the Freedom Unlimited. And I have this card. I think it's fine for that person because, you get most of what you need. No frills, no lounges or things like that. But it's fine. But when you start to get into wanting to get high multipliers back, and especially playing more cash back than anything else, well, you can kind of do better. But first of all, before we get to that and doing better, the Sapphire Preferred is in a weird spot in the lineup. So while I think it's fine, it's kind of smushed between the 2 Freedom cards below it, the Freedom Flex and the Freedom Unlimited. You take a look at those, yes, one of the Flex is rotating categories, but the 5X travel is a wash because they both get it. 3X dining is a wash because I can get that on a free card as well. That's the Freedom Flex. And then the Freedom Unlimited, same kind of deal, but it's got 1.5 back on everything else. And 1.5 isn't 2. I mean, is it $95 worth of half a point? I don't know, probably not really, so there's that. But again, you do get the insurances and stuff like that. But so you can't really adjust the multipliers too much on the Sapphire Preferred, because if you adjust too high, then you're bumping up against Big Brother, which is the Sapphire Reserve. And you can see it on screen now. Yeah, it's $5.50. You do get a lot more, but the multipliers, again, for $5.50, 3 back on restaurants, I can get that on a free card. I do step up to 3 back on travel, which is a little bit better, so I couldn't make the Sapphire Preferred move up into the 3s because I bump into the Big Brother card. And so it kind of doesn't work. And I feel like when we talk about the Sapphire Preferred, it's not bad, but the card that needs to evolve is the Sapphire Reserve, so the Sapphire Preferred can move up. I do think it needs to move up, because my second point is I care more about multipliers and earnings than I do travel frills and luxury like stuff. And granted, this isn't the ecosystem for luxury travel. Like I probably shouldn't even use that word, but there's no lounges, right? I mean, that's really the thing, but I don't care about that. I mean, it'd be nice to have, but I don't want to pay for it, I guess is the way to put it. So, the cards out there that I would put as competitors to the Sapphire Preferred that I would like better, probably the City Premier. City Premier, a lot of 3X categories, same $95. You do get a hotel credit. It's not hard to use, but the dollar amount to use it is much higher than the Sapphire Preferred. So nod to Sapphire Preferred, but I think the City Premier is a better card. Yes, again, you have the travel insurances and things like that on the Sapphire Preferred, which again is probably the only reason to really keep it. But the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey, I think, is an all-around better card. I think I'm in the minority on this, but I'm telling you, if you had painted that thing blue, we'll put it on screen for you. If you painted it blue, and this was the new version of the Sapphire Preferred, we all would have lost our collective minds. So when I look at it, for $95 for a keeper card, someone who doesn't really care for travel redemptions, still wants cash back redemptions mostly, I'd rather have the Autograph Journey card. I really would, because you get the 4 and 5x multipliers there. Their credit, or airline credit, you can use directly. You don't have to go through the portal. So while the hotel credit on the Sapphire Preferred is much easier to use, or is easy to use, well, I still give the point to the Autograph Journey. The Autograph Journey is also supported by the regular Autograph card, which I have, that has a lot more 3X categories, and it's also supported by the Active Cash, which is 2X back. So yes, the travel partners, I'm going to not say that Wells Fargo travel partners are bad. They're just not partners that most people are interested in because they're not the major chain carriers. And that's fair. Yet to be seen how good their travel portal is. But again, you're talking about cashback redemptions, which I would still argue, even with the Sapphire Preferred, you could probably still be in the cashback space as well, or the moderate travel redemptions through the portal. So I could definitely see a world where someone prefers the Sapphire Preferred, but for me, I think I would rather have the Autograph Journey for even money. I think Wells Fargo is coming on pretty strong, and that was a big deciding fact. Now, Wells Fargo, they denied me for it, but I think it's a better card. I really do. As much as I'm accused of being a Chase homer, I think the Autograph Journey and the Autograph are better cards. And again, going back to the first point, I don't think the Sapphire Preferred will ever be as good until the Sapphire Reserve gets from up top of its head and moves up, which I don't think is going to happen, because it almost doesn't need to happen because it's Chase, right? So there's that. The third point is, I went a whole year. I only really used it once. So while yes, as a grown person, I do think there's an argument to be had for having a credit card with travel insurances and things like that. I mean, I haven't really needed no foreign transaction fees in a long, long time. I haven't really made use of the card. I didn't want to really use the card because I wasn't getting best multipliers back on booking travel with it. And plus, I have the free Autograph, which does give some insurances. It does have no foreign transaction fees should you ever need it, and it's got slightly better multipliers across the board. So for me, only using it a handful of times a year max, this would probably be, a better option, the free version, than anything else. Then the last reason is because I looked at my bonus tracker, and my goal for credit cards is to get $5,000 in points and intro offers a year. And I see this giant glaring $95 in red, meaning it's subtracting $95 from my total because that's the annual fee on the card. And I was like, I'm in the business of taking money, not giving money. And that's kind of what put me over the top. It's like, I don't really want to pay $95 for this. I really don't. You mean I can go from being down 95 to up 95 just like that, and that was closer to my $5,000 goal. It sounds silly, but again, it's my decision, and these are the factors that I weighed. But overall, I mean, it was... I did have to think about it, I guess. I did think about keeping it because you can't justify $45 just to have those things. But, I think I'm fine. If you really wanted insurances, I mean, you can buy them on the flights. I mean, now at least it is getting a little bit better as far as customer protections where you do have to get you can get refunds and stuff. Still harder, but possible. You can buy insurances if you really thought you were going to need them. In rental car, I mean, again, if you have insurance, it's for your regular, car that most of us do, well, then, that policy usually covers you. I mean, you got to check your policy, but it usually covers you. So, but again, how many times have you really rented a car? I haven't in a long time. I used to, but not so much anymore. So I think I'm fine without it, given the fact that I hadn't used it since the intro offer. So I got 5 freedoms now. Now, as we said in the beginning, at the time of taping, the elevated offers are back. So what should you do? Well, you should still get them. You should still get it. Remember, you can pick one, the Sapphire Preferred or the Reserve. You can have one. You can get an intro offer every 4 years, and you can't currently hold a Sapphire card if you're going to get a new one. So if you have one that's been 4 years, well, you should check out our product changing chase cards video, because there's definitely some things you're going to want to make sure you're covered on before you do it, so you don't cost yourself any money. But I would go for the Sapphire Preferred because they push it in branch. I think right now in branch you can go in, you can get 85,000 points for spending a total of $6,000. Spend $4,000 in the first 3 months. You spend an additional $2,000 within 6 months. So $6,000 total, you get 85. I would go in branch. Sapphire Reserves at 75,000 points for $4,000 in spend. We have links for 75 on both cards. So, I mean, I guess if you're just not close enough to a branch, or you just really don't want to go, then of course we would appreciate it. Of course, if you want the Sapphire Reserve, then it's even money. We would appreciate that as well. Again, profitablecontent.com. But I would start with the Sapphire Preferred, and I would go in branch. When I did it a year ago, I make an appointment. You'll be there for like 10 minutes max. It's not like opening a bank account, especially if you're an existing customer. But if it's not like opening a bank account, like you're in and out in 10 minutes, they basically just fill out the same application that you would just for you. But it's a way, to get a lead inside so the banker can talk to them, maybe cross-sell some products, things like that. But I would do that because even though I don't think it's worth keeping for you, one, it might be because you might like Chase Ecosystem a lot more, like travel, that's fine. But again, we're talking about 85,000 points, it's $850. Again, we've got videos on how to use the hotel credit. If you really want the Sapphire Reserve, I would still go in branch preferred. Then I would upgrade to the Reserve in year number 2 because it's still $100 extra. I mean, you could go Reserve first, but I tend to go for the maximum amount of money, and it would be the maximum amount of money because 1, it's higher, and 2, it's a lower annual fee. Make sure you can factor in the travel credit, but still. So anyways, again, I think they're worth doing. That's what I did. And again, you can start amassing a collection of Freedom Flex cards as well. But of course, let me know your thoughts on this. However you thought my decision would be. What should I do with 5 Freedom cards? How many gift cards can you buy with that? I wonder. But anyways, guys, that's been it for my Sapphire decision. So let me know what your plans are for the Sapphire. You're going in branch. You can hook your guy up and use one of our links. We appreciate it either way. But of course, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel because we're posting content just like this every single week. And of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, as we said, every single day over on profitablecontent.com, the channel's blog, we have the latest news stories, bank promotions, and wouldn't you know it, credit card offers just like the Sapphires and more from Chase as well. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.